Welcome to InFocus Town Talk. Today I'm joined by Keith Hickey, who is the town administrator for the town of Kingston. Welcome, Keith. Let's get right into town meeting wrap up. You had a really successful
Sure.
town meeting. What were your biggest takeaways?
Well, I think the biggest takeaways for us was that it was very successful as far as we're concerned. Almost all of the warrant articles that were proposed were approved. Certainly, all the funding articles that we asked people to allow us to expend money for were approved. So that's all great news. Um, Appreciate everybody's time for coming out. It was a pretty nice day, so it's tough to get people out on a beautiful May day to spend some time inside of the town meeting. But for those who did, we appreciate that, and looking forward to implementing some of the programs and capital items, spending the money on the capital items, things of that nature that you've provided for us, and hope to provide a great service to the residents of this community moving forward.
Excellent. Yeah, it was a very efficient, well-run meeting. PACTV covers all the
Sure
town meetings
was.
for all the towns, and we love it when it's really well done and it's efficient like you said, the people got their business done and they got it done in an efficient manner, which was great. There's a little
Yep.
question about this regional vaccination center that was going to be set up in the Kingston Collection. Can you just give us
Sure.
the status of where that stands right now?
Sure. It's still kind of a moving target at this point. From what I understand, Plymouth had hoped to have to use the Kingston Collection as a regional site, and then for whatever reason, they backed away. Our health agent and Board of Health have been reviewing the opportunities to hold a regional site there. The Kingston Collection, as they always are very, very supportive and helpful, and will allow us to use a space there if we want to do that. So our health officer right now is communicating with the health officer in Plymouth to see if Plymouth is willing to contribute any of the costs associated with holding a regional vaccination location at the Kingston Collection. She hopes to have that information with her at the June 7th Board of Health meeting, and the Board of Health will make some recommendations as to whether or not they support a regional vaccination location at the collection. Um, it is expensive to operate. I think one of the concerns that I have, anyways, is with so many people already vaccinated, with the opportunity to get vaccinated now at pharmacies and doctors' offices and things of that nature, is there still a need to have the expense of regional vaccination locations? So, hoping the Board of Health can provide some guidance for that at their meeting next Monday night, and we hope to have a decision in the very near future about whether or not there's a regional site in place at the Kingston Collection.
Okay. And speaking of COVID and a lot of people being vaccinated, mask mandate was lifted as of last Saturday. Did you notice anything different? Any feelings about how the residents have taken that news and how they're reacting to it?
I think they're excited about it. I went out last Saturday morning to do some errands and brought my mask with me, just in case I walked into a store and felt guilty about not having one on. And what I found very quickly was that really the only people wearing masks were either people who hadn't been vaccinated yet, still had some health concerns and felt they wanted to take the extra safety precaution of wearing a mask, or some stores are requiring their employees to continue wearing masks. So I was very happy to shed my mask and walk around the stores without a mask and not feel guilty at all or uncomfortable in doing that. I was certainly part of the majority. So I think people are thrilled to have no mask requirements in place
Right.
anymore.
To have the choice. It's nice to have the choice.
Hmm.
Now, in-person meetings are going to start taking place again in the townhouse.
Yep.
You're going to have an honor system as far as not wearing a mask if you've been vaccinated, because that is the guidance that we've gotten from the governor. So can you talk a little bit
Correct.
about what you expect to see?
Sure. We are going to have we are all town meetings now at the townhouse will be live in-person meetings. The governor is requiring now for basically the meeting the meetings to be run the same way they were run in the past, where the majority of the boards have to be in place at the meeting house. At the meetings, there are you can still have a minority of the board members attending the meeting remotely, but the majority of the board has to be in person now. We are going to be allowing up to capacity in any room without any restrictions, and are excited to have the public back in the meeting room. We had a board meeting at the end of May where we had some residents back in the meeting room. It was great. Nice to see some faces again, which was helpful. I expect the Board of Selectmen also to continue to have a Zoom or GoToMeeting component as part of the public meetings as well. So if people aren't able to attend a meeting for whatever reason in person, they can attend from wherever location they're at, and whether or not the board decides to allow those visitors to the meeting to speak and things of that nature will be up to the board. We're having that discussion on the rules on June 8th next week.
That's great. Yeah. And PACTV, where we cover all of the select board meetings in the towns that we have, we knew that this most likely would happen after the pandemic, that meetings would go back, hopefully, to be mostly in person. But the convenience of that Zoom in or GoToMeeting factor, it can't be overlooked. And if, for example, you needed to attend a meeting but you were on vacation, beforehand you could maybe call in and they'd hold your phone up to a microphone. Now you can actually Zoom into the meeting. And it also saves money. If you have to have somebody come in to speak to a group and they're coming from far away, you can actually just Zoom them in and have them do a presentation rather than having to have them actually come. So there's a lot of positives that came out of that aspect of the technical. And I think you're right, Keith, that I think people are dying to actually communicate with each other face to face again. It's really nice, but having this option is really awesome also. So that's great.
It is. It is. And I think if I could just add to that, I think that people have become more accepting to allowing somebody to Zoom into a meeting now, where in the past we haven't had a lot of experience with that. I think in cases people wanted to see somebody present to them in person. Now with the last year or so doing remote meetings, I think that the expectation people have is they're much more accepting to allowing a person to Zoom into a meeting and present virtually rather than actually standing at a podium in front of a board presenting an item or a topic for discussion.
Right, exactly. Now, speaking of Zooming meetings, you have been doing This Week in Kingston via Zoom with our own Donna Rodriguez here for 14 episodes. For 14 weeks, you've done this. Can you talk about that experience and any feedback that you've gotten and what you're trying to accomplish with This Week in Kingston every week?
Sure. Well, it's something I think that is a benefit to the community, and whether I like to do it or not really doesn't matter. I think what I'm trying to do with providing this broadcast is to spend 10 or 15 minutes just providing the community with an update on what's happening in town, so they can participate if they care to. Make sure that people are aware of some of the things that may be occurring or may be coming up in the future that they should be aware of. Again, it's the whole, there's been a lot of discussion over the last couple of years, I think, in Kingston about transparency, trying to provide information to a person at their convenience where they can watch these TV shows whenever they need to and whenever they want to is just another way of using, technology to keep everybody as informed as they want to be.
Absolutely. And the good thing too about what you do for your show there is that you can take a subject that maybe was talked about for 30 or 40 minutes in a meeting and break it down to one sentence. So you can do some highlights and some recaps, which sometimes that's all people really want anyway. It's like give me the highlight of what happened, and you do that. So we appreciate that very much. You had a very successful Veterans Day ceremony. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was great. Again, part of the allowing people to get together now and not wear masks. It was a perfect timing for us. Veterans Day obviously was this past Monday. Our veterans agent Priscilla Brackett did an amazing job with the Veterans Committee in putting together a parade pretty quickly. We had a decent number of veterans who were able to attend, to march, along with a lot of other town agencies or town groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, things of that nature. So it was a really nice day to be able to get outside, recognize and appreciate all of the sacrifices that our veterans have made for us over the years, and thankfully the weather broke from a cold, rainy weekend, so it was a nice time. We had a lot of people along the parade route who were there to celebrate the veterans as well. So, overall, it was a great day. Hoping to expand on that in the future a little bit and make it more of a community event that maybe it was in the past. But again, thank you to all the committee members who quickly put that parade together and everybody who participated and were there to recognize the veterans who deserved all the appreciation they received
Absolutely.
both Monday and every day. So
Right,
it was
absolutely.
nice.
And we, PACTV sent our own Tom Bolus, as we do every
Hmm.
year, and he captured a whole bunch of things on video and put together a really nice kind of a compilation of the celebration, the ceremony that happened that day. So that's available at PACTV. The last thing, the National Night Out. Can you talk a little bit about that? It's going to
Yes.
be August 3rd at Silver Lake Regional High School. What is it, and why are we involved?
So National Night Out is an event that's sponsored by police departments across the country, really to allow residents and visitors who want to come out to the National Night Out to meet with police officers, police staff, get a better, closer look at some of the vehicles and other assets the police department has to help police, the town of Kingston. So the town of Kingston and the police department will be having that National Night Out again in August. We're excited to have them be willing to do that, and hope that as many people as possible can come out, get to know your police department a little bit, and have the police department showcase, what their capabilities are. So, looking forward to that day as well.
Right, and we owe them a great debt of gratitude for what they do every single day. Thank you so much, Keith Hickey. We hope you have a wonderful
Always a pleasure.
summer, and we will catch up with you again soon on Town Talk.